Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguys, and welcome to another edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. I'm your host, Timmy Flyersguys, and in today's episode, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 Philadelphia Flyers games I wish I should have attended. Well, actually, this will be the top 10 Philadelphia Flyers games I should have attended. There are times in my life when there were some games that I just wasn't able to get to because of certain circumstances. Whether it would be if the game was at night and my dad had to work during the day, or for some reason, because of health issues, I couldn't make it to certain games. So I'm going to count down the top 10 Philadelphia Flyers games that I should have attended. So without further ado, let's get into the countdown. Okay, at number 10, Philadelphia Flyers Carolina Hurricanes from December of 2008. This game had everything. It had fights. It had aggression. It had aggression. And it had excitement. And it had a huge comeback win by the Philadelphia Flyers. In that game, the Philadelphia Flyers were down 5-0. And the Flyers, and all hope was lost for the Flyers until they came on to the comeback trail, getting 2 goals in the second, and then tying the score up at 5-5 in the third period, and then taking the game to overtime. And it would eventually go into a shootout where the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Carolina Hurricanes 6-5 in overtime. And there's my number 10 pick on this countdown. Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes from December of 2008. At number 9, Philadelphia Flyers, Boston Bruins from October of 2009. In that game, JVR got his first goal. And then this game was a back and forth game between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Boston Bruins. As goaltenders, Ray Emery and Tuukka Rask battled it out in this game. This game, and it was a back and forth affair, which ended up going into a shootout, in which the Flyers got the shootout victory over the Boston Bruins. So at number 9, Philadelphia Flyers, Boston Bruins from October of 2009. At number 8, Philadelphia Flyers, New York Rangers, October of 2005, the home opener. 2005 was the return of NHL hockey, as the year prior, the NHL had a league-wide lockout where all the teams went on strike in the NHL in the 2004 and 2005 NHL season was officially canceled. In 2005, it marked the return of NHL hockey. Not just the return of NHL hockey, but the return of Philadelphia Flyers hockey. In October of 2005, the Philadelphia Flyers faced off against the New York Rangers. This would be the Flyers' debut of Mike Richards and Jeff Carter. Even this game had a great atmosphere. And even the Flyers thanking the fans as they thanked the fans for the return to Flyers hockey. Unfortunately, the Flyers lost this first game, but this game had a lot of great moments. One of the best moments of the game was Mike Richards. But the first goal, one of the greatest moments of this game, was Mike Richards' first official Philadelphia Flyers goal. So at number 8, Philadelphia Flyers, New York Rangers, home opener, 2005. At number 7, Philadelphia Flyers, Ottawa Senators, the night all hell broke loose. It was March of 2004 as the Philadelphia Flyers faced off against the Ottawa Senators. Just prior to that, the Flyers looked like they were out for revenge, as it was the game that would be payback for a previous game where Martin Hadlock of the Ottawa Senators slashed Mark Recchi right in the face. This game had everything. The Flyers took it to the Ottawa Senators in that game. In the third period, all hell broke loose. And it all started with a fight between Donald Brashear and Rob Ray, which erupted into an all-out brawl between two teams. I wish I was at this game. This game is exciting. The fans loved it, and it was a throwback to the days of the Broad Street Bullies. And so number 7, Philadelphia Flyers, Ottawa Senators, from March of 2004. At number 6, Philadelphia Flyers, Washington Capitals, October 2009 home opener. This game was a back and forth affair. Flyers were down in that game, but they fought their way back to tie the score up to force overtime. In overtime, it was Danny Briere getting the overtime game-winning goal on his birthday as the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Washington Capitals in overtime on October of 2009. This game was an epic atmosphere for the Flyers. And it was a game where Danny Briere was the hero. So at number 6, Philadelphia Flyers, Washington Capitals, from October of 2009, the home opener. At number 5, Philadelphia Flyers, Edmonton Oilers, December 8th, 2016. I really wish I could have been at this game, at least for my birthday. But I was pretty tired out celebrating my 30th birthday party a week before this. This was the year the Flyers were on an epic 10-game winning streak that lasted until before Christmas. This game had everything. It had drama, it had intensity, and had a sold-out Philadelphia Flyers crowd. It was Claude Giroux versus Connor McDavid in an epic clash. Flyers were taken to the Edmonton Oilers, and Edmonton struck back. But then after that, it was all Flyers, as they defeated the Edmonton Oilers in overtime, in regulation. It was a 6-5 victory for the Philadelphia Flyers. This game was epic, and I wish I could have been there. A lot of people were saying this was one of the best games of the 2016-2017 Philadelphia Flyers season. And I absolutely agree. So at number 5, Philadelphia Flyers, Edmonton Oilers, from December 8th, 2016. At number 4, Pittsburgh Penguins, Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Game 3 from April of 2012. Prior to this game, the Games won in Games 2. The Philadelphia Flyers absolutely flipped the script on the Pittsburgh Penguins in Games 1 and Games 2, taking a 2-0 lead in the series. In Game 3, it was all Flyers, as they pummeled the Pittsburgh Penguins with a 3 from Pittsburgh Penguins with an 8-4 victory. So at number 4, Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Game 3, the Eastern Conference quarterfinals in 2012. Hold on a second, why didn't I? Okay, I also forgot to mention. At number 3, this was actually going to be number 3. But I was actually talking about Game 3, but I also forgot to get the picture in here. I don't have this picture here. But at number 3, Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Game 6 of the 2012 Eastern Conference quarterfinals. After losing Game 5, Philadelphia Flyers want to finish the series off. In this game, they sent a statement early, as Claude Giroux threw out one of the biggest hits on Claude Giroux. They had the crowd in a frenzy. Shortly after that, the crowd was in a frenzy once again, as Claude Giroux got the first goal to set the tone for Game 6. And shortly after that, it was the Flyers who eliminated the Penguins in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals in 2012. At number 2, Philadelphia Flyers, Boston Bruins, 2010 Eastern Conference Quarterfinals, Game 3. This was the game we would see the return of Simone Gagne to the Wild. Before this, the Flyers had gone 3 games to none. The Flyers were on the comeback trail in this game. The game went into overtime, and it was Simone Gagne who got the game-winning goal in overtime, making a big return to the lineup and beating the Boston Bruins in overtime. This game was epic, and this is a game I wish I could have attended. So at number 1, Philadelphia Flyers, Boston Bruins, Game 3, the 2010 Eastern Conference Semifinals. And now we get into number 1, which is, I have 2 picks for the number 1 spot. It is Game 5 of the 2010 Eastern Conference Finals as the Philadelphia Flyers face off against the Montreal Canadiens. In this game, Flyers were down 1-0, but it was Mike Richards who set the tone for the Philadelphia Flyers. On a breakaway, Jaroslav Halak came out of the net, and Mike Richards and actually collided with Mike Richards. And after Halak came out of his own net, it was Mike Richards who tapped in the goal to give the Flyers the tie score up at 1-1. Shortly after that, it was all Philadelphia Flyers, as the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Montreal Canadiens, as they won the Eastern Conference Finals. As the Philadelphia Flyers became 2010 Eastern Conference champions. Now, here's part 2 of my number 1 pick. Philadelphia Flyers, Chicago Blackhawks, 2010 Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3. This was a back and forth affair between both teams. But in overtime, it was Claude Giroux who got the game-winning goal as the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Chicago Blackhawks in overtime. Well, that is it for my countdown. I'll be right back, folks. And we are going to take a quick I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back, as I will tell you about my next episode of the Flyersguys Top 10. Hey everybody, Timmy Flyers Guy here to remind you that on December 5th, 2025, it's the 200th episode of Back in the Day. That's right, folks. I'm celebrating my 200th episode of Back in the Day. It's going to be Back in the Day 200th episode celebration, and a look back at 3 years of entertaining nostalgia here on Back in the Day. It'll be a 200 episode celebration, as it's the Back in the Day 200th episode. It'll be coming on December 5th, 2025, exclusively on my YouTube channel. So, we're gonna take a look back at many years of Back in the Day here on the Timmy Flyersguys YouTube channel. I cannot believe that I am at 200 episodes of Back in the Day. So I'll see you all on December 5th, 2025. And just like that, ends another countdown here on the Timmy Fly, and now ends another countdown here on the Flyersguys Top 10 and 0. That I said I would be doing my top 10 favorite Cartoon Network shows for 1994 and 1995, but I decided to get one more Flyers video in. Now, in my next episode, I will be counting down my top 10 shows that I watched on the Cartoon Network from 1995 to 1996. Guys, thank you for joining me here on the Flyersguys Top 10. I'll see you guys next time.